Yes, it is that time of the season, the holiday season, and what better way to celebrate Thanksgiving season and Christmas season than right here on the Metal Hammer of Doom with your host, the Mandator Reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. And seeing as this is our only show of November, I thought we'd celebrate with the biggest turkey in the music industry, Limp Bizkit. Yeah. Gonna rolling. You know what time it is. Well, you may not know what time it is, but Jesse Starcher sure does. How you doing, Jesse?
Oh, man, I'm excited to talk. I'm excited to be limping with the biscuit tonight.
Oh, Limp Bizkit. You know, people might be wondering, I actually got one person on Twitter who responded to one of the advertisements for the show. One word, nope. And and several people have asked, what in God's name are you doing this for? Why? Are you? I mean, and to a degree, there's a sense of irony to it. But I have to admit, I enjoy their music the way one might enjoy, a chocolate bar, or pork rinds. It's horrible for you. It's garbage, but it satisfies a need for sugar or for fat that you just can't get. I misspelled my own name. That you just can't get.
Nice.
In a lot of other music. I mean, when you think about what's the attraction to mainstream music, people don't want to think too hard about their music. They just want to listen to what they want to listen to and feel good and and get jiggy with it. Is that what the kids say? You have a tweener for a child.
I think they said that back when shortly after Chocolate Starfish was released. They might have been saying getting jiggy with it back in the 2000s, but not nowadays. But I certainly. I can't tell you what they say nowadays, Mark. So we'll roll with getting jiggy with it.
All right. So when you want to get jiggy with it, you want to hear something that gives you that jiggy beat, and that's what Limp Bizkit is.
The jiggy beat.
But
that's
the other
one I've never heard of.
I suppose if you're going to get jiggy with it, you'd want to get jiggy with the beat must be jiggy as well.
Yeah, I guess so.
Black people listening to this going, stop, white person. Just stop right now.
Yeah, they're pushing stop. Trust me.
But there is another reason why we ended up doing this, and it's a very similar reason to why we did The Wanderer on our last show in October, and that is earlier this year, Limp Bizkit had announced that 2015 they would finally release Stampede of the Disco Elephants. There's already been some singles released for it. They released a cover song that was supposed to appear on it, which is Thieves by Ministry, if you haven't heard it yet. And I have been waiting all year, and I told Robert Cooper, who right now is not with us, I think he either forgot or is busy or is purposely avoiding this show, despite me.
Yeah, there's no way. No way. Coop has got to be detained. I'm sure, like MIB style, where they're checking the aliens in the van. He'll be with us, I'm sure.
I hope. But I told him that if Stampede of the Disco Elephants comes out, we have to review it, and he cut his wrist.
He's no longer with us.
But after he got put on a steady dose of Risperdal and Remeron, and got his mood stabilized, he agreed. He agreed to cover it, and I said, okay, but much like what happened with Chinese Democracy, Apparently, the album has been held up forever. There's an article that I posted on my Facebook page recently, not the one about Fred Durst moving to Crimea, but the one that says they've got about 28 songs in the can that are basically done, but Fred Durst is just sitting on them, and he's not happy with the album, and he keeps making changes. And this is exactly what happened with Chinese Democracy, by the way, as I said before. Axl Rose fired the entire band, rehired new people, fired them, hired new people. And by the time Chinese Democracy came out, a lot of what was on that album was already passé, and the album kind of failed.
Yeah.
So that Stampede of the Disco Apples appears to be going in that direction. So seeing as we don't have a new album to review, I said, okay, well then we got to do something for Limp Bizkit. Then we have to honor this band appropriately here in the Metal. And I said, not even I, the king of crap, was going to do a full album retrospective. No. It was much easier to find one of their many greatest hits albums and say, let's just review the greatest hits and be done with this. And that brings us to tonight. Now, you're over there. You're waiting to break stuff. You're wanting to limp with the biscuit, as you said. What is your attraction to Limp Bizkit? Because as I said, for me, it's just I just need to hear something angry and nonsensical.
Yeah. Nostalgia, to be honest. Man, you know how long it's been since I actually listened to a Limp Bizkit album? Oh.
Jesse Starcher's going, oh my God, this was the soundtrack to my life back in whatever year it was.
No, man, there was a period of time, I know me and you could probably pair how we got into metal. You've done it plenty of times on the show how you've talked about where you've started listening to certain bands and stuff like that. Myself, I was, as a young kid, teenager, I was really into, I was listening to rap all the time, rap. And then there was a bridge at one point where, Clutch came in, and I'm starting to gravitate a little more towards the rock and the heavy stuff. But I loved that little bit of rap that was kind of in some of the music. So it was, Limp Bizkit represents, I think, I've thought about this a lot over the past week. I think it represents the bridge for me to really get into metal. Their sound, especially with their albums, Significant Other and Chocolate Starfish, you can hear there's a lot of rap. And as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about one of the songs where a prominent rapper shows up on the freaking track. So, but at that point in time, man, I was in the latter years of college. Okay, great time for any young American male, I'm sure. And it was fun to play that aggressive sound. Just like you said, break stuff. We got Nookie. We got all this taboo stuff that as a 20-year-old kid, maybe a little bit older than 20 years old, but I just loved cranking the stuff up and listening to it. I was, rolling in my red Chevette with my 12-inch speaker in the hatch, and I got some Limp Bizkit blowing up the set. So it represents a lot. But right now it's nostalgia. It takes me back. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to Chocolate Starfish when it first came out. I'm sure I borrowed the CD off of somebody and just played it over and over and over. And then recently, when we're doing this greatest hits, I went right back to Chocolate Starfish and I've listened to that album probably about 4 or 5 times in the last week, just because I enjoy it so much and it takes me back.
First time I heard Limp Bizkit was, and I feel like this is what everyone heard for the most part, was actually their cover of George Michael's Faith.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it on the radio. I was living in California at the time, and I must have repeated. I would play that song on repeat. And it's funny because not much has changed. I drove home the other night from work, and I just put Rollin' On and put that on repeat.
Yeah.
There's something about it, about certain Limp Bizkit songs where it matches your mood. It's just sort of an ethereal feeling. You just don't want to think. You just sort of want to emote.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I was living in California at the time. This had to have been 1998, and between 98 and 99. And I heard that song on the radio, and I had, for the first 12 years of my life, I listened to rap music until I moved to an all-white neighborhood. So there was still an affinity for it. Now, around the same time, Kid Rock was also coming out with the dang, the dang, the diggy, diggy.
Yeah,
and
Eminem was coming up, too, I think, at that point.
So as much as I enjoyed heavy metal, there was this influx of rap metal starting to hit upon the scene. And it was tapping into a part of my personality that had long since been buried, and that was that appreciation for angry rap music that I had since abandoned because at that point rap had turned to shit. But let's take a break here and bring on my normal co-host, late to the party, but so I'm sure he's excited as all get out for this, Mr. Robert Cooper. Where have you been, sir?
Teaching.
Teaching? This late?
No, learning how to teach.
Ah.
Yeah, and I mean, teaching's somewhere involved in there, but yeah. I mean, hey, I've been stoked for the old Limp Bizkit all day,
Yeah. Do you have your lyrics set up? Because we're going to do some serious lyrical analysis of that Nookie tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
So you can take that cookie and stick it up your ass. I think really it's just speaking to the fact that he had an absentee father.
Deep.
Oh, yeah, so I'm going to straight up Sigmund Freud this shit.
All right. Let's not waste any more time here, then. Good to have you back on the show, sir. So
glad to be here.
Yeah, the first track that I had ever heard from Limp Bizkit was Faith, and then shortly thereafter they would release another album, and of course Nookie and break stuff with the big blow-ups from there. But we're going to start with the first track from the Greatest Hits album called Counterfeit. Now here we go.
You wear a mask, counterfeit, you
that comes from the album $3 Bill, Yall.
Y'all.
And it's the first single. It was released August 26, 1997, on said album, which actually came out July 1st, 1997. But again, I really wouldn't hear of this band until the following year when they were playing Faith all over the radio. Now, I'll tell you what, we know where Limp Bizkit's going to go from here. we know what we're in store for. They actually start off pretty okay. I mean, when you think about, in terms of bands that were coming around at that time, Papa Roach and Kid Rock. So Kid Rock would steer to the left as far as where he came from. This song is innocent enough. You know what I mean? This doesn't get into the silly territory that we're going to get into shortly.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coop.
Well, of course, the song is actually, side note, before I get to this song, I was looking up there's a site called songmeanings.com, and I just wanted to see, what do these people think? Somebody commented something that didn't cross my mind until I read that. Oh, well, this is just like the album title because it's saying $3 bill, y'all, and there is no $3 bill, so it's counterfeit. And I'm like,
whoa.
Fucking shoot. I was like, fucking shoot, mate. This is what bros consider deep. Like, yeah, man. I got this song called Counterfeit. How am I gonna get that message across? Hey, Fred. Yeah, man. $3 bill, y'all. Man, you the shit, dog. God, I gave Fred Durst way too much street cred in his voice. Like, God, he needs to. His voice is probably really squeaky or something. But yeah, this song here, it is rap-tabular. I will give it that. It has a lot of the whole new part of the metal. There's not a whole ton of metal. It's very generic in terms of riff structure. But hey, Counterfeit, the song's all about how everybody's a fake, which is really funny because you consider that he's talking about, man, I got brought up in the old school and I got the funky flow and all that. I'm like, shut up, you don't have any of this. That's like me talking about how I have a PhD and a lot of bitches. I can talk all I want, but we all know it's a lie.
Look, in defense of Limp Bizkit and their fans, in 2015, worldwide, Minions made over $1 billion. The movie about the henchmen from Despicable Me that don't really speak English and make just a lot of oop ee ooh ah sounds. Okay, things that have taken over memes on Facebook. That movie, a 90-minute string of strung together gags, made over $1 billion, and not in the U.S. but in foreign ticket sales, actually beat Inside Out. So
that frustrates me greatly. But the thing that I see with Minions is it targets the lowest common denominator in terms of taste, which is children. Now, I'm one of those, I disagree with children's things having to be shitty, but kids will typically like anything that's, well, not anything, but they'll like something if it's colorful and zany and
you say that
to make them laugh.
Hang on, but see, that's where I disagree with you because you say that that's exclusive to children. I would tell you that that's most people. Most people, are attracted to sight gags and fart jokes and just it's that lowest common denominator, and that is exactly where Limp Bizkit finds its niche.
Oh yeah, I was getting into there because I was saying for the kids, they're kids, so really their brains haven't fully developed. Now with the adults, I find things like that to be so infinitely interesting. Now, if you are a fan of Minions, I'm not insulting you much because I'm using big words. But I'm kidding. But I just find that things like that, yes, they shoot for the lowest common denominator, and typically that's why we see random things like, that's why we have random memes with just the Minions there. It had nothing to do with Minions. They're just like, yeah, man, like that's totally the face I make. That's what the Minion does. Like I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it in terms of this needs to be a thing. Like, I get that the Minions are fun and everything, but just like Limp Bizkit here, I don't see why we need an entire career or AKA a $1 billion movie. Like, they're nice. It's like certain comedians. They had one joke.
All right. So let's get to the big hit of 1998. This is a cover of George Michael's Faith by Limp Bizkit here. Here we go.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like me, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play, 'cause I play them too. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. When that love comes down without devotion, well, it takes a song man, baby, but I'm showing you that door. Run, gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith, baby. I know you're asking me to stay. Say please, please, please don't go away, 'cause you're giving me the blues. Baby, you remind me of the words you say. Can't help but think of yesterday and another who tied me down to the love of one you before this river becomes an ocean. Before you pick my heart up off the floor. When that love comes down without devotion, well, it takes a strong man, baby, but I'm showing you that door. I gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Get the fuck up.
Can't play the whole song, unfortunately, but one of the things I loved about it when I first heard it was that record scratching. That's what I mean when I say, like, it was tapping into my appreciation for old school rap. And, you know, a good use of DJ Lethal, formerly of House of Pain.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like, imagine you're the producer of this band and they're writing $3 bill and they're like, oh, we're going to cover George Michael's Faith. How do we put our own spin on it? Yeah, just scream it, okay? Just scream if you were kicked in the balls.
The vocals on this track, man, it just sounds like he doesn't give a shit. I'm not saying it sucks. I'm just saying it almost sounds like he is like making fun of it almost as he's singing it, and just interesting take on it.
Yeah,
right.
I don't even think that like there were multiple takes. I think like he just walked in the school and just vomited on the mic. It's like, all right, done.
There it is.
The tone of his voice in this reminds me very much like somebody is holding Fred Durst at knife point and he's trying to cry his way out of them not giving him his wallet. And then a cop walks by and the guy walks away and then he starts screaming. He's like, yeah, bitch, what you gonna fucking do? Yeah, fuck you. And then like the guy keeps coming back at him, and that's when he goes back to like, oh no, you gotta have faith. Like it sounds so bad. I don't think he was doing it in a parody. I honestly think he tried. I have no faith. In Fred Durst's vocal skills.
I'm sure he walked out of the studio and was like high-fiving the band. Yeah, that's big ass, bro.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, bro, yeah, George Michael's the fucking sex symbol of the world. And a fucking like George Michael poster just plastered across the recording studio.
I guarantee you, he dropped his pants, put his hands on his hips, and just stood there and said, "Look at it, look at my magnificent penis."
Yeah, he probably clapped his balls around the entire time he was singing. That's probably how he hit the ring.
So a couple of things before we move on here. I'll give it to you in a sec, Jesse. Allmusic.com reviewed the album 4 out of 5 stars. Rolling Stone only gave it 2 stars, those stuck-up bitches. But Martin Charles Strong, 7 out of 10 stars. And here's what it says in the reception part of the wiki. $3 bill, y'all, received some positive reviews from critics. Stephen Thomas Erlewine of AllMusic praised the album, writing, and this is the best quote ever, by the way, "They may not have many original ideas, but they do sound well. they have a powerful rhythm section and memorable hooks, most of which make up for the uneven songwriting." In the essential rock discography, Martin Charles Strong gave the album 7 out of 10 rating. Robert Christgau gave the album a negative review. Borland stated in an interview that George Michael, the writer of the song Faith, hated Limp Bizkit's cover and hated us for doing it. Oh, that makes them my favorite band ever. Through extensive touring and the band's later breakthrough into the mainstream, the album went, and here's why I compared it to Minions, the album went double platinum in 2001. Yeah, I'm done here. Go on.
Oh, well, you got to think what we just came up with, that our analysis of what he did for this song. You know, if Fred Durst is thinking, well, shit, I can do that anytime I want, and it's going to make money, and it's going to go platinum, there's your answer as to why Limp Bizkit fell to shit. Because he just went in and now, granted, I think, you know, we've obviously got a couple more. There's another 2 albums we're going to talk about here after this that did really well. And it speaks to the kind of time I think that I was in when I was listening to this album. And we'll get to that as we cross these next couple albums. But just think about that, folks. He went in there, he laid this down, and then he made all this money. What's that got to say? What kind of a example does that set? Not a good one.
Okay. So you hear $3 bill, and you're like, all right, well, here's some angry white people from Florida and DJ Lethal, and they're mucking about, and they're part of this wave of angry white boys rapping that Weird Al would do the greatest parody of ever. Which, if you're interested in that, check out our career retrospective of Weird Al Yankovic from last December. But with their next album, Significant Other, which was released in 1999, they would release a series of singles, which is, as I said before, got them on the road to silliness. They just, at some point, Fred Durst said, I don't have any rhyming skills. I'm not really a rapper. And so he just started making things up. And if it sounded good in the hook, if it sounded good rhymed together with something else, he just ran with it. And again, it's amazing. Okay. I am impressed. I idolize this man for being able to write this next song, because it's so catchy and yet so stupid at the same time. It is the Obdali Obdallah of 1999. This is Limp Bizkit's Nookie.
Mistake, and I should give her a break. the BDC. But you wasn't by my so-called girl. But in reality, had a hidden agenda. She put my gender all in a blender, and still I surrendered. Hey, like a chump, 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 like a chump. I did it all for the nookie. Come on, the nookie. Come on, so you can take that cookie and stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your. I did it all for the nookie. Come on, the nookie. Come on, so you can take that cookie and stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your, stick it up your.
So that song is about him and this girl in the relationship, and his girl did him wrong, and he seems to be struggling with whether or not he should take her back. And that's about as much as I could take from the song before my brain started to hurt.
You know, nothing screams 90s than when you write a lyric such as, but I'm a sucker like I said, fucked up in the head, and then you put the word not at the end of it.
You're waiting for Scott Ian to run in the door. Not!
I mean, come on. Yeah, obviously he's just throwing stuff together here. I feel your struggle here, Fred. I mean, you can take that cookie and stick it up your yeah.
Well, who hasn't had their tender thrown in a blender?
Oh,
really?
Many a time. What I guess, you know, just like you said, this is a catchy tune.
Yes.
Many people can probably identify with the struggle that Fred's going through. So maybe that twofold, sir. Twofold. It's a hit.
I mean, yeah, no. As soon as that first opening lick started up, I was just like, you know. And years later, girls would twerk to this. You know, this was meant to be played like in a strip club. It's like perfect for it. But I mean, to his credit, and I'm trying to take this somewhat seriously, so this isn't, you know, like there's some like angry Limp Bizkit fans out there, like, nah, these fucking guys, why don't you try starting a band, fat ass, you know? All right, fine. I'm gonna try to give them their due here. And like I said, it's a straightforward song about, you know, about his relationship there, and that's fine. It's just written at a third grade level, if that. Cool.
No, I've analyzed plenty of fourth grade writing, and I must say, stick it up your yas right in their wheelhouse. So, okay, I've done my best to analyze this the best I can. I feel like Fred Durst is really saying he was born a loser and that everybody recognizes this, and it really bothers him because he's meant for so much more. He's a stupid man who dates stupid women, but he needs relationships in his life. So should he take her back? His heart yearns for her. Truly, if there's anything left in his mind, he must know that he will use her for the nookie. So you can take that cookie, that chip on your shoulder, and shove it up your... Yeah.
I'll tell you, as far as song construction goes, there had to have been a meeting amongst the band members that were like, we're writing songs that are like 2 minutes long. Is there any way we can make this longer? Yeah, have Fred repeat the same thing 5 times in a row. Repeat it.
I'm not going to lie. When I heard this song for the first time in years and sat down with the lyrics, I'm honestly, just hearing it again a second ago, I was laughing. This is so stupid and juvenile. Like, yeah, like this is like, you know how a lot of the hip-hop artists today rely on the fact they have money, that women want them, and a lot of those sort of familiar tropes. Well, this is like somebody got a Fisher Prize, some like 10-year-old got a Fisher Prize piano in his very first Pitbull album, and was like, I'm going to do this. And this really feels like this feels like 2015 hip-hop to the most mediocre extent. Oh, it's so funny, though. Like, this song is a comedy. This is like how my best friend Nick says he loves Batman and Robin because he watches it like it's a comedy. Like, this song here, if you look at it like the biggest joke in the world, you will be pleased.
So, around 2000, I was in a relationship with a girl, and she was not a big fan of heavy metal. She was in like Broadway. She was into like Broadway tunes and whatnot. But she was telling me it was one of those situations where I looked at her and I said, like, what fucking planet are you from? She was telling me that she was driving home from having a bad day at work, and she was listening to the radio, and she's like, and the most amazing song came on, a song that really spoke to me, a song that, you know, that definitely made me feel better because it was exactly how I felt. The singer felt how I felt, and I'm like, okay, what song is speaking to you that way? What was so bad about today that, you know, that you reached out, you know, and found a kismet spirit in the world of music? And she fucking said "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit.
Oh man.
No, I'm not the tolerant fellow that I am today, and I think I said something along the lines of, I think we should see other people. But
damn. That's cold, Radulich.
Well, you know, sometimes there are certain things that really tell you about a person. Like, if I'm on a dating site and I see a girl's favorite movie and God's Not Dead, I tend to, like, just immediately shut down the profile, just like, X. Because I just feel like fundamentally, there's...
You don't swipe right, huh? You swipe left.
Yeah, like, it's like fundamentally we have such a gulf in our ideals. There is no way this relationship will work on any sort of level. And I feel like if a girl walks up to you and is like, hey, baby, you're pretty hot, and then you, like, start talking to her and you get to know her, she has a great smile, winning personality, and then she goes, you know, I heard something on the radio today, and you're just looking intently into her eyes as she says, break stuff, and just time is going in slow motion as your heart goes into your feet and you realize, I've been duped.
It's kind of like finding out she has a penis. You know, it's just, whoa, hey, how did we get here? It is very much like having a staring contest with the one-eyed monster. It is. I think Limp Bizkit is the crying game of music.
Oh. Wow.
This is gonna walk off this podcast.
I think we should do what I did with Rosenblatt and send it to the band.
No.
You know.
I'll tell you this after I play the song. I want to get into the song because we have a lot of music to play tonight. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. So this is track 4 from the Greatest Hits album, the aforementioned "Break Stuff."
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. I think you better quit, let shit slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. I think you better quit talking that shit. It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the blood stain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better watch your back, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days.
I can't stand that. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. Like, it's just a weak part of the song. Like, the rest of it's fine, you know, in terms of soundtrack to a toddler throwing a tantrum. I get it. I understand it. I appreciate that. I certainly have my own little toddler who likes to throw himself a little tantrum. And if he could voice to me how he was feeling when he would throw that tantrum, he would say, you know, Dad, it's just one of those days where you sort of fuck somebody up or whatever it was. Next thing I fucked up.
What was it that I can't remember which podcast you were talking about, how he was throwing himself up against the wall and like falling down, and dude, that's some epic stuff right there. That kid's got some tantrum skills.
Oh, my son, you know, he's all boy, but he does like the little fairiest things at times where I just look at him and just like, I hope this is a phase, that you're not going to be like this when you get older, because I'm not going to be able to handle it. Like,
oh man!
Right now, like, he gets mad enough. Like, He hasn't done it in a little while. Like, I feel like he tried it, didn't get him anywhere. He stopped doing it. He's a smart little kid. But like, there was a period there where like he would like say like he wanted juice. Like, you've had enough juice today. You know, you can have water. And he was like, I want juice. Well, you're not going to get juice. And he would go blah and take off running in some random direction and run into the door. If I had any foresight or editing skills, I'd have taped it and I would have put break stuff on there. But it's a strong enough song for what it's supposed to be. Again, for that like juvenile temper tantrum, or bros in a mosh pit kind of a thing, or my ex-girlfriend having a bad day at work but not having any taste in music. But then he gets into but that's the thing. It's like, it's all this like hardcore like violence he's talking about. Like, oh, I'm gonna cut you, and you're next in line to get fucked up. Your life's on contract. And then the chorus is like the weakest shit ever. It's all of the he said she said bullshit. I'm like, oh, stop it, you homo.
Oh, goodness.
You know what I mean? Like that's what someone said something not nice about you, and that's making you want to trash things. Come on, like there's such a disconnect between the chorus and the rest of the song.
You never lived on the Jacksonville streets, all right? The Jacksonville streets, damn it. You don't know what it's like. Go ahead, Chief. Sorry.
I am loving this. Just looking at the way he rhymes things. Here's let's see. Your life is on contract. Your best bet is stay away, motherfucker. And then let's see the ending rhymes. The next few lines are days, bullshit, shit slip, fat lip, bullshit, that shit.
Brilliant.
If you just look, if you just kind of I feel like I should just repeat the last words of all of these, because he goes motherfucker, days, bullshit, that's the fucking chorus. This guy, it's what this really I think of. This is what suburban kids tend to think when the mall cop kicks them out of the mall. So them and their buddies call up that one guy who will buy them beer because he feels bad for them. And then they all go cruising through places and just talk shit about, dude, I would totally do this to this guy. Man, he's talking shit to me. Paul Blart just fucking threw me out. So I'm going to skin his ass raw. Which really, I mean, that is very violent for anal. That is violent for anal sex, I have to say. Yeah, I just went through that one. But it's such a dumb song. I mean, really, this song is all about releasing your pent-up anger. That's what this is. This is some fantasy. This is one of those songs that when you are having a bad day, you're just yeah, I totally know how you feel, Fred Durst. Yeah, my mom took away my fucking allowance too. Yeah, it really speaks to you on that juvenile anger that you occasionally unleash as an adult. And for that, I can really respect the fact that this album sold far more of my favorite bands ever will.
Yeah, significant other. Let's see here. Critical reception. Jesse, got any more? Okay, well, hang on. So as far as the charts go, it was the number one in 1999. It was the number one of the Billboard Top 200. It was the number one top Canadian album, number one of top internet albums. Rearranged in 1999 was the top modern track. That's the only one that ever got to number one. The rest of them were somewhere between 80 and 2. I'm trying to find if it went platinum or not.
Well, I'm looking through here too. I can say that I can't remember if it's at the end of this. I don't think it's at the end of this one. I think it's at the end of Chocolate Starfish, where they get Robert Winfrey's favorite actor of all time, Ben Stiller, on there, and they start talking to him about, Ben Stiller, and it's like a hidden track or at the very end of the album. I don't know if you guys remember it or not, but you guys can go check it out on Spotify, anybody that's listening. But anyway, Ben Stiller is sitting there talking with talking with Fred Durst, and Ben Stiller's laughing it up because obviously he doesn't take the band seriously, but he says it's such a great message that you're putting out there. You better watch out. I'm gonna skin your ass raw with my chainsaw. And it's just like, there's no way you can't take him seriously.
All right, I found the thing here. Significant Other climbs number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 643,000 copies in its first week. Second week, it sold an additional 335,000. The band promoted the album by appearing at Woodstock 1999, where several sexual assaults occurred during one of their performances, and headlining this year's Family Value tours. So, About.com, 4 out of 5 stars. AllMusic, 4 out of 5 stars. Entertainment Weekly, B. The Essential Rock Discography, 5 out of 10. Enemy, 3 out of 10. Rolling Stone improved here, 3.5 out of 5 stars. And the Rolling Stone Album Guide, again, 3.5 out of 5 stars. So there you go. This apparently was this was quite the appreciated album. So let's get back to the music here. I'm going to mellow out here to the slightly less silly songs. First one here is Rearranged.
Just think about it. Just think about it. Lately I've been skeptical, silent when I would used to speak, distant from all around me, to witness me fail and become weak. Life is overwhelming, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'd love to be the one to disappoint you when I don't fall down, but you don't understand when I'm attempting to explain, because you know it all and I guess things will never change. But you might need my hand when falling in your hole. Your disposition I'll remember when I'm letting go of you and me. We're through. Seems that you're not satisfied, too much on your mind. So you leave and I can't believe all the bullshit that I find. Life is overwhelming, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'd love to be the one to disappoint you when I don't fall down, but you don't understand when I'm attempting to explain, because you know it all and I guess things will never change. But you might need my hand when falling in your hole. Your disposition I'll remember when I'm letting go of you and me. We're through. And rearrange. You and me, we're through. And rearrange. You're no good.
Cooper, what you got on that one?
What I see of this as is, some real wax poetry, Like hearing Fred Durst just kind of kicking back and chilling and really speaking to my middle school soul. Like, the world is just so tough and there's so many scary things, and when people are crying and dying, it's just not cool. And it's scary and it makes me uncomfortable. And I'm really happy that Fred Durst is here to lend his tattoo-covered, greasy arm as just to wrap myself around. And,
Don't
really
forget that fitted baseball cap.
I was going to say, and just, let the cookies come up my yeah.
Don't let the cookies come up your yeah. That's
Yeah.
no. Don't do that.
Definitely not let cookies go up your yeah.
No. If you have cookies coming up your yeah for within 4 hours, please call a doctor.
No, please do. Gosh.
Oh
my God.
Well, I'll tell you right now, we're on track 5, okay, other than Faith, which just sounded, like he was not giving a shit, but it's just like, it's complete angst for this band. It is every song that we've listened to so far, and with the exception of Faith, it just sounds like he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he just feels wronged in some way, whether it be by a girl, whether it be by people, the way the critics are treating him, or whether it be somebody who's completely fake to his face. So that's about all I could say. We're going to swing it around here this next track, which will be nice. But at this time, I think what I remember Limp Bizkit most for is that angst that they had. That I don't know if I could identify with it. I really can't say I can identify with it because I certainly wasn't like somebody that had all these problems that Fred Durst has. Thank goodness. But I enjoyed listening to him gripe about it, which is I think where it was.
I'll tell you, as I reviewed this album, as I listened to this album rather and researched it, I found that like the less angry Fred Durst was the less interesting Fred Durst.
Yes, that is the truth.
I listen to Rearranged, and I'm just like, you're so terrible.
Stop your complaining.
That when you're waxing poetic, when you're not screaming and yelling and sort of tapping into those animalistic instincts, you're not fun to listen to. And it's kind of like, here's this candy bar. Oh, what's inside of it? Kale. What the fuck? I don't want chocolate covered kale. And that's kind of Rearranged to me. It's chocolate covered kale. Okay, so let's move on here to number 6, And Together Now, featuring star of The Wire, Method Man.
DJ, meow, meow, meow. Who could be the boss? Look up to the cross, stranded in the land of the law. Standing up, I'm sideways. I'm blazing up the path, running on the highways of rap. Choked up by the smoke and the charcoal. Fly the stamps and brands me like a barcode. I'm dashing all the media strikes. I keep the media dikes. It's reinforcement for the fight. And not alone, I'll keep John Gotti on the phone. I'm tangled in the zone, I got the bees on the track. Where the fuck you at? Let me hear your pigeons run your mouth now.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm plugging in them social skills to keep my total bills over $1 million. The last time I checked it, thank God I'm blessed with the mind that'll wreck it. Wait until the second round and knock 'em out.
They call me Big John Stud, my middle name Mud. Dirty water flow, too much for you thugs that can't stand the flood. What up, Doc? Hold big gun like Elmer Fudd, the show shot. Mr. Meth, I'm unplugged. Learn, temperature's too hot for sunblock. Burn, playing with mine to get you state time. Locked behind 12 bars from a great mind. Killer bees in the club with his ladybug. Brought his sword to the dance floor to cut a rug. Love is love all day till they throw slugs. And take another life in cold blood. Can't feel me till it's your blood. Murder rate's tremendous, crime is endless. Same shit, different day. Father forgive us, they know not what they do. All praise is due. I'm big like Easy and Big Bamboo. What's that? I didn't hear you. Shut the fuck up. Come on a little louder. Shut the fuck up. Everybody in together now. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. What's that? I didn't hear you. Shut the fuck up. Come on a little louder. Shut the fuck up. Everybody in together now. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Headstrong, dead calm, dead white on. Dead weight, they dead wrong. Let's get it on. 12 rounds of throwdown. Who hold crown? Protect land with 4 pounds. Limp Bizkit. Get around like merry-go. Bust a scenario. Coming through your stereo. Why risk it? Lifestyles of the prolific and gifted. 8 essential vitamins and minerals, delicious. Word on the street is they bit my thesis. Knocked out they front teethers. Trying to taste mine. Acting like they heard through the grapevine. Dope feeding for the baseline. 2 for 5 rounds. Pharmaceuticals. Hard as nails to the cuticle. Where'd you find that monster? She beautiful. Wu-Tang and Limp Bizkit. Roll on the set. Kick a hole in the speaker. Pull a plug and then jack.
Mic check. So what's it all about? And where we gonna run? Maybe we can meet up on the sun. Discretion is advised with a blood of virgin eyes. We're limping on the track with the method. So get the sun blocked. You're getting one shot. Until you dissolve, I revolve around
shit's whack.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Hold on. I want to do a tangential question here real quick for Mark Radulich, okay? Mark, I know you've lived in New York at one point, right?
Most of my life.
Okay. Wu-Tang Clan, East Coast, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I want to know how many albums that Wu-Tang Clan albums or any of the members that you owned at one time.
Sorry, I don't have a very interesting Wu-Tang Clan story. I had a copy of Enter the Wu-Tang. Excuse me. I had a copy of Enter the Wu-Tang, and that was it. And I never bought any of the solo albums.
Oh, wow. No Method Man or anything like that?
No, but you gotta understand, I really abandoned rap for the most part around the time that a lot of this stuff was popular. And if I like something, remember Napster had been invented by this point.
Mm-hmm.
So if I really wanted it, if there was a particular Method Man song or ODB or he's not in the Wu-Tang Clan, but who's the short rapper that barks at everybody? DMX.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there happened to be a DMX song I liked, I just downloaded it. I had at one point a fair amount of rap songs downloaded. Master P, Make 'Em Say Ma, Make 'Em Whoa, Make 'Em Say Oi, oh, Laven. You know that one. They were in WCW there for a little bit. They actually performed Make 'Em Say Hoi.
GA's and No Limit Soldiers.
No Limit Soldier.
Oh boy, did I own a copy of that song, but I downloaded it. I got it from Napster, or by that point I may have moved on to what was the LimeWire?
LimeWire, and then there was FrostWire. FrostWire had less viruses.
Yeah. Then he just dropped everything and started watching The Wire.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And we bring it back to Method Man.
So End Together Now, I feel like is the lyrical equivalent of the Chris Rock bit where he's saying, you know, how black people need white friends because you don't know what crazy, you know, and the white person in a group of black guys is the craziest white person you'll ever meet because you don't know what he had to do to get them black guys respect. Sorry, not Chris Rock. That was that was what's his face that had his own show on Comedy Central.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, yes. That's what that reminds me of. Just like, you know, a bunch of rappers all, you know, freestyling around a mic, and in walks Fred Durst, and just like, well, we need someone to talk to the cops, so let him speak on it.
Oh man.
You know,
with that collective sigh.
There's some interesting references. I'm pretty sure Method Man are the one making them. They call me Big John Stud.
His middle name's Mud.
His middle name is Mud. I don't know if that is the Primus reference, but for the love of God, I'm pretty sure Les Claypool is somewhere in the future rolling in his grave, as is Big John Stud and probably Elmer Fudd, because, he got referenced too. You big bamboo. I'm big like Easy, you big bamboo. What the fuck? Like, I will
big
say
bamboo
that...
reference to porno.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't...
it's
I've
also
never
a
heard
Cheech
that.
So it's
what?
And it's two things. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably more referencing the Cheech and Chong bit. But it's also a porno reference. So it's both.
Nice.
So the more you know.
Yeah, the thing that was interesting, I don't know what they sampled at the beginning, but it really reminded me of Three Stooges, like, nyah, 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 nyah. I'm pretty sure I heard something like that somewhere at the beginning.
I think you're
I heard, like, nyah, nyah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Waiting for Method Man to poke Fred Durst in the eyes, going, no, wise guy.
Wise guy. You know, I went and saw the remake, like the remake of that series, you know, the one that had, like, Will Sasso as the fat one. Yeah.
Right.
My friend and I were the only people laughing during that movie. Like, when he took the microwave and stuck it on the Jersey Shore guy's head, we were dying. Like, It was
so
such a
Limp
horrible.
Bizkit is for you.
It was more or less like the Limp Bizkit remake. Oh no, Limp Bizkit remake. It was like the Three Stooges remake. Somebody enjoyed it, and it was probably a bunch of cackling idiots in the back of a movie theater. Like there was this mom that was dragging her kid like, you are never going to get to pick the movie again. That was the worst movie I've seen in my life. I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was okay. I had no expectations.
All right, so I think
Will Sasso.
That takes us to our next album, released in 2000, year of the millennium, Chocolate Starfish, which is in reference to your anus, and the hot dog flavored water.
What?
Which is apparently an inside joke from the band. Couple things we should note before moving on here. This album, Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water, went hang on, in the United States 6 times platinum.
We ate that shit up.
We really did. I mean, and this sold ridiculous amounts of records all over the world. Argentina went gold, it went 4 times platinum in Australia. Austria, single platinum. Brazil, gold. Canada, 6 times diamond. Finland, platinum. Germany, gold. Mexico, platinum and gold. Netherlands, platinum. Poland, gold. And the UK, double platinum.
We have high standards here, folks.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
The minions of music.
God, this is not like the Minions. This is like if we took the Minions and put them in Avatar.
Okay.
Like, there is no reason that something so lowbrow and mediocre should get so high, but I really feel like this is just like a really just kind of disease that came from the fact that late 90s pop music was really bad boy bands.
No,
that I used to listen to as a kid.
We wanted something else. We wanted this. This is like I said, we ate it up. This was the antithesis of, just like you're saying, these boy bands that we had been getting. We didn't care if it had a catchy tune and it was in your face and it said fuck at least 46 times. I'd pay money for it. Or maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd do the Mark Radulich route and pirate it.
Hey, Napster was a service. I was utilizing the service.
Keep telling yourself that, sir. I think there's one guy in Metallica that might disagree with you. I'm just guessing.
Okay, so let's get into the first single here from Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog. They really did embrace the silly with this album. It was like, okay. Oh, and by the way, I have to read this because this is fantastic. The song Hot Dog, which we are not going to hear, but the song Hot Dog is notorious for featuring the word fuck 46 times.
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic.
That's a lot of fucking.
He's at 46 times in the middle of the song. He's got plenty more to go in that song. Trust me, I've listened to it at least 3 or 4 times. So he had to have set a record.
Well, I think if you're ever wondering, like, how can I, make a band and make a lot of money? Well, that's the answer.
It works.
Repetition and cursing. All right. So let's take a look around from Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
live inside a lie. Life's just a flight, just moving really fast. Better stay on top or life will kick you in the ass. Follow me into a solo. Remember that, kid? So what you wanna do? And where you gonna run when you're staring down the cable of a mic pointed at your grill like a gun? Limp Bizkit is rocking the set. It's like Russian roulette when you're placing your bet. So don't be upset when you're broke and you're done. Cause I'ma be the one till I jet. I know why you wanna hate me. I know why you wanna hate me. I know why you wanna hate me. Cause hate is all the world has even seen lately. I know why you wanna hate me. I know why you wanna hate me. Now I know why you wanna hate me. Cause hate is all the world has even seen lately.
That's enough of fucking that. Every time I hear that song, because it was in the movie, it reminds me of Mission Impossible 2, and that's not a pleasant memory.
Yeah, the entire thing, all I could think was da-da-da, da-da-da. Like, this was more or less like Mission Impossible, the song. So the only thing really impossible about it was to like it, because I feel like, you know, old Fred Durst and the Limp Bizkits, they do make a very, very bold statement that they know why I want to hate them. And I feel like it's more of a challenge than anything.
They embrace it, man.
They do. It. They are very much like a starving child hugging the streams of a nuclear waste facility. You know, they're embracing it, even though, well, really, it's just going to kill them. God.
Let me ask you here, Coop. Would you said you feel that this is Mission Impossible, the song? Would you consider this? I mean, seriously, I don't think. I imagine your answer is going to be no. But would you consider this a cover in some ways?
The only thing it really covered was my hands with my ears.
No. I want to mark it down here, okay? And there's a reason why I'm asking this question. We are listening to the Limp Bizkit Greatest Hits album, okay? I want you folks to understand that is what we're listening to, their greatest hits. They thought, let's put together our greatest hits, and these are the tracks that you get to hear, all right? So we've already heard one cover, George Michael's Faith, my friends, all right? Now we just got to listen to, this is seriously, I'm legit here. This is my favorite song off of this album.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I love this song. I can remember, just like you said, when Mission Impossible 2 came out, was that the same year that Metallica covered one of the songs too, or was that the first one?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Mission Impossible 2. Keep on with what you were saying. I'll look it up.
Okay. But anyway, okay, now we're at a song that pretty much the hook is a popular TV show / movie. Okay? That they didn't come up with that on their own. Just to let everybody know out there, Limp Bizkit did not completely write the Mission Impossible theme here. This is something that they're coming off of.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So we're at number 2 here for, we'll just call this unoriginality on their greatest hits album. Okay? More to come as we discuss.
Can we talk about this Mission Impossible 2? Hang on. Can we talk about this Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack for just a moment? Comes out May 8th, 2000, and it says here, music from and inspired by MI2 is the soundtrack album for the 2000 film Mission Impossible 2. Certified gold for 100,000 copies shipped in Japan in August of 2000. Okay, here's what's on it. Take a look around by Limp Bizkit. I Disappear by Metallica. And here's where it gets fun. Scum of the Earth, Rob Zombie. They Came In, Butthole Surfers. Rocket Science, The Pimps. Have a Cigar, which is a Pink Floyd cover by the Foo Fighters. Mission 2000, Chris Cornell. Going Down, Godsmack. What You Looking At, Uncle Cracker. Backwards, Apartment 26. Karma, Diffuser. Alone, Buck Fucking Cherry. Immune, Tin Fed. Not My Kind of Scene, Powderfinger. And just for shits and giggles, let's throw a Tori Amos song in there, Carnival.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Fuck.
Well, I know 2 of those songs. in about 5 of those bands.
I know a lot of them, including the Buck fucking Jerry. So, though I do have to say, I feel like having a favorite Limp Bizkit song is very much like having your favorite flavor of Robitussin. I mean, it might be the least offensive out of it, but you're still going to be gagging for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, but Robitussin's good for you.
In mass quantities.
Yeah. It'll make you hallucinate, and you really enjoy Limp Bizkit. All right, let's move on to the next song here. This is my generation. This is my generation, the generation that made this album 6 fucking platinum. Jesus.
If only we could fly. Limp Bizkit style. John Otto, take him to the Matthews Bridge. Can you feel it? A digit generation. Get up! A digit generation. Are you ready? Do you know where you are? Welcome to the jungle, punk. Take a look around. The Limp Bizkit fucking up your town. We downloaded the shockwave for all the ladies in the cave to get your groove on. And maybe I'm the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. Who got who's next? Generation X, Generation Strange. So don't even shine till I win the pain. So go ahead and talk shit. Talk shit about me. So go ahead and talk shit about my generation. 'Cause we don't give a fuck and we won't ever give a fuck until you give a fuck about me and my generation. Hey kids, take my advice. You don't wanna step into a big pile of shit. Captain is drunk, you want the Titanic floating on the funk to get your groove on. And maybe I am just a little fucked up. Life's just a little fucked up. Generation X, Generation Strange. So don't even shine till I win the pain. So go ahead and talk shit. Talk shit about me. So go ahead and talk shit about my generation. We don't give a fuck and we won't ever give a fuck until you give a fuck about me and my generation. We don't.
Do I get to go first? Let me go first real quick. Okay?
Please, by all means.
All right. Here...
Really, Blog Talk Radio?
Can I go first?
The fucking Jim Webb of this show. Can I get some time?
Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, poor Jesse.
We can rescue Jesse. Yeah. It kicked me. Yeah, just dial back in, buddy.
We do know that. It went from like, oh, let me talk. Oh, God.
And
I think it's pretty.
It's Blog Talk Radio.
Generation. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Granted, library. See, there we go. Now we has a reason to kick us because I just mentioned the library and Jesse's on here. God, all I can think of when listening to this song is this is no who am I thinking of? Not Joan Jett.
The Who?
No. Yeah, there we go. Joan Jett, The Who, same thing. Potato, tomato.
Sure. Your point.
Definitely. Yeah, I was just saying, if this is the banner if this is the banner carrier for Generation X or Generation Weird, God help us.
Okay, fucking Blog Talk, you're on the air.
Fucking Blog Talk. Oh man, Scoop, I'm probably going to echo your sentiments. I didn't even hear what you had to say, so if I'm repeating what you just said, I apologize. But this song exemplifies what was going on with the kids of that era, or myself of that era. There was so much we didn't give a fuck. And here's the problem, and herein lies the problem with Limp Bizkit. As that generation grew older, we didn't give a fuck until we had to, okay? At some point, we had to start giving a fuck. Wherein we gained, just think of it as our trial into adulthood. We started to actually have responsibility. We started having, that generation started having kids. As much as you'd love to say, I don't give a fuck, as many times as you would like to say it in the song, it's only going to last as long as until you have to give a fuck. And there's a point in which you will, at some point in your life, have to give a fuck. And that's where Limp Bizkit starts to lose credibility.
It implies they had credibility.
Buddy, I blasted this song, and when I was 20 years old, this was something that I had in the CD player, and I love this. I love this album. This was one of my favorite albums back then, and at that point in my life, as I said before, I was having that bridge from metal to, I was into all the new metal stuff. A lot of the bands you could probably name off the top of your head, I was probably listening to. But Limp Bizkit was one of the ones that I was really getting behind. Plus, it was that mainstream stuff. All my buddies were listening to it. We were having a good time. But again,
POD is not a bad band. For as much as I want to make fun of this style of music and everything, and a lot of what came out of that era, I have to say, POD had staying power.
I've listened to probably one album, and that's probably about it for POD, so I can't really speak on that a whole lot. But it was, and most likely it was at this time when I was listening to POD, or right after that, or shortly after this album came out. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this song. That is, it's a great song in my opinion, because who doesn't want to say we don't give a fuck?
Well, in all seriousness, many times on this show we talk about songs that sound great live, but then when you hear them in the studio, you hear them on the album, you're like, it kind of loses its effect. That is definitely one that's a crowd pleaser. Mm-hmm. That's one where the bros and the hoes can bounce in the mosh pit and have a good time, and they certainly don't have to put a whole lot of thought into it. It's just, it's ear candy for the soul.
That's right.
Yes, right. That's what we'll call it, for the soul. I was going to say it's ear candy for the id, but close enough.
All right, so now we get to my favorite Limp Bizkit song of all time.
It's everybody's favorite.
This is the Undertaker's theme music. I have no idea what's happening in this song. All I know is that I can hear it 100 times in a row and it still won't be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, move in, now move out, hands up, now hands down, back up, tell me what you're going to do now.
All right, partner. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Starfish. Throw your hands up. Wanna keep on going, baby. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Move it, now move out. Hands up, now hands down. Back up. Tell me what you gonna do now. Breathe in, now breathe out. Hands up, now hands down. Back up. Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep
Yes, the Underbiker. That reminds me of the Undertaker rolling to the ring. Can we talk about this song? Can we really look at this? Well, let's move past the all right partner, keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is, and the 50 times he's gonna say rolling in the next few minutes. Let's move right into the meat of this song. Again,
the meat.
Move in, now move out. Hands up, no hands down. Back up, back up. Tell me what you're gonna do now. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands up, hands down. Back up, back up. Tell me what you're gonna do now. More rolling. And here's the message of the song right here. Now, I know y'all be loving this shit right here. Oh, you have no idea, Fred Durst. Limp Bizkit is right here, so you are. People in the house, put them hands in the air. You've covered this. Because if you don't care, then we don't care.
All right.
1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6.
Yes, math.
Yeah, math, yeah. Jonesing for your fix of that Limp Bizkit mix. Yes, that same Limp Bizkit that you'll be loving right here. So where the fuck you at, punk? Shut the fuck up and back the fuck up while we fuck this track up. Now, I will give somebody a hard-earned, shiny silver dollar if they could explain to me what the fuck is happening in this song.
You totally missed the part where Fred Durst completely has a conversation with himself. That's my favorite part of the song.
Every night. Oh.
It's like he starts having a conversation with himself. Clearly, this is Limp Bizkit's version of the Hokey Pokey.
I was going to say that before. I was like, other than doing the Hokey Pokey, what's happening here? I don't understand this song.
That's all it is. There's nothing there. It's fluff.
Okay, here's the conversation.
This song is the fluffer of the album. But really, I think we need some more lyrical analysis here.
Oh, boy.
You want to mess with the biscuit? Yeah.
Bane.
You cannot mess with the biscuit. Why? Doesn't get it on. When? Every day and every night. Oh, see this platinum thing right here? Oh. Well, we're doing it all at a time. Wow. So you better get some better beats, Batman, and get some better rhymes. No. Seriously, I was sitting here reading the lyrics, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Man, you want to mess with the biscuit? Well, you can't mess with the biscuit because we make money, so you can get better rhymes and better beats. And even the lyrics say, get some better rhymes, dough. Like, are you people fucking kidding me? I mean, yes, it is probably one of the catchiest, like, songs that blow total horse manure.
That's the thing.
Gosh
like,
darn it, I really can't help but get in my head.
It's a great sounding song that says nothing. I mean,
there had to have been a bet. There honestly had to have been a bet amongst the band members to come. Okay, a percentage of the royalties for the person who can write the song that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. And if you guys can make some great money off of it, you get it's in the contract, percentage for you. Because it's like they went from writing about such great topics and such, angsty topics that they have in this whole album, and then they're just like, okay, we've got to do it. I don't know how you take a step back, but they did.
Actually, you back up and tell me what you're going to do. See, honestly, looking at this, I think what they're doing is, I think finally that guy walked away with a knife and they thought he was gone, so they wanted to talk more shit.
There he goes.
He brought all of his buddies.
There
so
you go.
He's like, all right, I'm going to breathe in, and then he's going to breathe out, and then he's going to come up to me with his hands up, and I'm going to go, what you going to do, bitch? And then he's going to put his hands down, and he's going to back up, and then I'm going to be like, tell me what you're going to do now. Like, I really, honestly, like, not even kidding, I'm pretty sure that's what the song is saying. Like, yeah, you're going to come up to me, and I'm going to intimidate you with my fighting spirit. And you're just going to back up.
Jesse, do you have the studio up?
No, I can get it. I can bring it up here though, real quick.
I'm gonna excuse myself for just a couple of minutes. Can you take over? As much as I want to keep making fun of this song, I have to excuse myself. So just jump into my way and move forward, and I'll let you know when I come back.
All right. All right, Coop. What else you got to say about it?
Really, I think this is the most. Oh God, I think that wow, his name is William Frederick Durst. You know that?
Good old Billy. We've been Billy from Jacksonville.
Billy Durst. I tell you what, buddy. But I feel like this is a really catchy song that can be used as some sort of entrance theme, just like with Biker Taker. Mm-hmm. But really, this is one of those nonsense songs. It's shit. And I mean, really,
the popularity of it. Just the popularity of it, would you say it definitely got a big boost? I mean, as being helped out with being tagged up with The Undertaker and the WWE, I mean, that had to have definitely helped things out, you think?
I couldn't. I don't think it felt like it hurt.
Can't hurt.
I mean, that's a lot. No, I feel like I think it's a pretty good thing that they, well, not a good thing necessarily. I think it's a smart business decision. There you go, on their part to team up with WWE because they were pretty hot at the time. WWE wasn't quite out of it yet. And really, their demographics kind of cross at times.
I was like, yep. That's right. And this next one, talking about the WWE, well, let's get into the next track because I think this next track is, right back to back. You got yourself some WWE, I'll say it here right, folks, anthems. And we're talking Limp Bizkit's My Way. Here we go.
Think you're special, you do. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it when you laugh at me, look down on me, and walk around on me. Just one more fight about your leadership, and I will straight up leave your shit, 'cause I've had enough of it, and now I'm pissed. Yeah, this time I'ma let it all come out. This time I'ma stand up and shout. I'ma do things my way. It's my way or the highway. This time I'ma let it all come out. This time I'ma stand up and shout. I'ma do things my way. It's my way or the highway. Check out my melody. Check out my
You think you're special, Coop?
I think it is my way, or the highway, quite frankly. This song here is about a guy who feels that his wiener is small and that everybody picks on him.
I think that's been like the last, let's see, we're at song 10. I think that's been like the last 8 or 9 of the 10 we've listened to.
Yeah, but I feel like this one truly, kind of just drives that point home. The song is all about taking back the control from the man. This is what happens. This is giving a fuck, not giving a fuck after you tried to give the fucks that you had. Yes, it's just taking the bull by the horns and then grabbing it by the haunches and then humping it into submission.
That's not a visual that I really liked having right there. Did you? I know I tagged you in that post today on Facebook where this song is very synonymous with the promo package that they ran for WrestleMania X7 between The Rock and Steve Austin. This, to me, is whenever I hear this song, that takes me right back to that. As a matter of fact, I can remember a specific instant where I was in Columbus hanging out with a few of my college buddies. We'd stopped at some burger joint, and on the TV, I don't know what they were playing, but they were showing like a promo for the upcoming WrestleMania. And the guy sitting across from me is the guy that actually got me into Clutch. You know, we're sitting there at the table. He's the guy that got me into Clutch and probably put me on my path of where I am today in regards to music. But I remember him looking at me, and dude, if there is I would say that he is not a Limp Bizkit fan. That's probably about the fairest way I can put it. But I can remember him looking me in the face and going, that song is it is WrestleMania X7, that main event between Rock and Stone Cold, if it was a main event. I can't remember correctly, but I could tell you that is the song for me. And I don't know if you, Coop, I don't know if you were old enough to actually be into wrestling at that point in time, but I'm sure you've seen the Rock and Austin trilogy of matches that's happened. I think this was the second one. But there you go. That's what My Way or the Highway sings to me. And a matter of fact, I mean, WWE had this relationship with Limp Bizkit to where I think Limp Bizkit came on there and I can't remember if it was at a WrestleMania or one of the pay-per-views where I'm pretty certain that they went out there and did a live thing. I'd have to double check on that, but anyway, there's my take on My Way. Anything else you got to say, Coop?
I wasn't quite a wrestling fan at this point, but looking back at it, I can really see that this is a song you can build a feud around. It is. It's dynamic in a way that really. It's dynamic in a way that can really highlight something that's very dramatic. Mm-hmm. That being said, as a song, it is very much like playing a harmonica with your ass. It can work, but I do have to say that it's quite difficult to get across anything important.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's not like I'm sitting here lyrically. I can remember just seeing Austin and Rock staring down each other as they did during that feud at that point in time. And it was just about like one being better than the other. And I remember there was some kind of a controversy about this particular song when it first was written. Here I am, giving Limp Bizkit all sorts of crap. But I was listening to this stuff and was interested in it back then. But I think this was written about, there was some tension in the band also at this time. But again, that's something I didn't look up and research, but that's what I remember hearing way back in about 15 years ago. So, all right. Well, let's move on here. We'll get to song number 11 on the Greatest Hits track, and we're going to be listening to Limp Bizkit's Boiler.
Down. Why the hell you gonna leave somebody like
And that's when shit got turned around. All right, Coop. What do you think, man? It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Well, the really funny thing about this song is that he said, "I crawled out of your butt from hell." Really? Like, Limp Bizkit, the band that constantly uses, like, fuck, like it's a noun, an adjective, an adverb.
Oh, yeah.
And a verb in itself, and yet they'd say butt.
There's no rhyme or explanation for it. I mean,
I think this must be their selling out single. So they attempt to get radio play by making it all about relationships and butts. And butts.
You could, again, another angsty song. I mean, you could feel how upset he is.
Oh, yes, I feel that he is absolutely heartbroken at the fact that his high school sweetheart left him in 9th grade.
This is where I stop, folks. This is where this particular album, because if you haven't noticed, this Greatest Hits album, I don't know if they do this for many Greatest Hits albums. I don't think so, but we're going in chronological order, I assume, because I've listened to every album up to Chocolate Starfish, and I'm done. After this, for some reason, most likely it's because I started listening to other stuff, and Limp Bizkit was off my radar. So 2000, I'm done listening to them. Now, we have another 6 songs to go that I never heard up until I started listening to this album. So as for Boiler itself, I mean, it's when you hear one Limp Bizkit song, got it. You've heard all Limp Bizkit songs, got it. I don't really have much else to say on that one. Anything else to say on it, Coop, before we go to the next one?
Well, I don't know if you've heard one Limp Bizkit song, you've heard all of them, but when you've heard this angsty Limp Bizkit song, you've heard all the angsty Limp Bizkit songs.
There you go.
All right, let me jump in here, and I may have to run out of the room again. I'm going to get through this show because, goddamn it, I'm a professional.
Jesus Christ, Limp Bizkit gave him the shit.
Something, dude.
It's called the Limp Stool.
I'm not doing well. Let me just say that. But I'm gonna try to get through this.
Do it.
Sorry, 2003. We have an album called Results May Vary, where they released 2 singles, "Eat You Alive" and a cover of the Who's. I believe it's the Who's.
It is.
Yes, the Who's. Behind Blue Eyes. So what we're going to start with here is we're up to what, Boiler?
We just did Boiler. Now we're at Eat You Alive.
Okay, so here it is. This is the first single from 2003's Results May Vary, "Eat You Alive." So that's Eat You Alive.
Yeah.
Super.
I feel like this is how you feel currently as you think about Lion Tacos. Like, you would love to really go eat those things alive, but in your current disposition, I just don't feel like it would really work out. I mean, this song, actually, looking at it, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude.
No doubt that I'd love to sniff on them panties now. Like, really? Like,
I've never heard a song that had sniff panties in it. This is the first song I ever heard.
Sniff on them panties. Sniff
Wow.
on them. Like, once you seep in under my skin, there's nothing in this world that could wash you away. This is like oh, God. This song is actually really kind of creepy.
It is.
In the way that it's less of a love letter to a lover that you once had and more like the love letter you send to your right hand after you think about the girl whose panties you stole and sniffed, obviously.
Just wrong, man.
All right, so two things about this album. One, this album, as of 2012, this album has sold over 7 million copies worldwide, including 1,100,000 copies sold in the United States. And
wow.
Spin reviewed the album and said, Spin pointed out how critics criticized Results May Vary and said the album, quote, isn't all that horrible. So ringing endorsements I've ever heard from.
That's glowing.
Probably because it's radioactive.
Man.
All right. Let's keep going here. Unless you guys have a burning desire to continue to talk about Eat You Alive. Let's get into this next cover here. Limp Bizkit's Behind Blue Eyes, as popular by
P.
What it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes, and no one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to telling only lies. But my dreams, the earth is empty, as my conscience needs to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. What it's like to feel these feelings like I do, and I blame you. No one bites back his heart on their anger. None of my pain will can show through. But my dreams, the earth is empty, as my conscience needs to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free.
Okay. Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Oh God, it was Fred Durst who introduced Stained in one of the Family Values shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he just he tries very hard to switch from angsty white bread wannabe to soulful, deep thinker. And it's like it's a poor transition. And I remember like he had the one guy from Stained come out and play their hit song, and he played it acoustically, and it's a fine song. I enjoyed it when they played it.
Oh, it got played. They played that. They played the shit out of that down here.
Yeah, and it's a good enough song. It doesn't need Fred Durst going the real deal, y'all. Over it.
I'm feeling those ladders.
Yeah. Shut up! We don't need your commentary on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was like, oh, well, I need to do something like that, and so like, I'm not talented enough to write that good of a song, which by itself is a fine song, but it's not exactly this incredibly complex song. And so I was like, we'll just rip off the Who, and we'll do that, and oh, look at me, look at how soulful I sing. It's like, nope, it just sounds whiny.
A while back, I told Ronnie from Scream Boy Podcast that I'm going to stop using the word awesome, and I said I need to start thinking of other words for the word awesome. So he directed me to thesource.com. Believe it or not, folks, there's something out there. There's a resource out there just in case you want to stop using the word over and over. So I thought to myself tonight, I need to stop using the word unoriginal because I want to use that a lot. And case in point, we're up to our third, I'm going to call this the third unoriginal song on the Greatest Hits album. And so I hopped on thesource.com, and it's funny, I shit you not, folks. The second word as a synonym for unoriginal is counterfeit. Yeah, your mind just got blown. You're welcome.
Coop, you want to throw in here?
This is a song I've heard many times in my life because at the time this song really got popular around, 2004 perhaps. I was listening to the radio, the pop radio in fact, and this song got a whole lot of play. And sadly, I didn't really mind it at the time, but I can say my tastes are a little bit different now. Nothing will ever amuse me as much as Mr. Speak and Spell spelling Limp, because that is very much what I would call this cover of this song, Limp.
L-I-M-P. Discover. Yes.
Why do you sound like Dave Mustaine? You're like, L-I-M-P. Yeah.
What the hell? I'm not even going to ask the question. This is, again, I stopped at Starfish, and this is the first time I've heard these songs. So it's a decent cover, but I have many questions. I leave with more questions than I have answers for sometimes. And shit like that is why.
All right, we have our third song here from Results May Vary, and this will be the last track from one of their studio albums. What follows is The Unquestionable Truth, which apparently was so bad they didn't add any of the songs.
The titles of these albums are hilarious. It's just like it's The Unquestionable. Your album sucks. That's just the way it is.
So this particular greatest, I'm going to be fair now. I'll make sure I have this right. So this Greatest Hits compilation comes out in 2005. Okay, it's called Greatest Hits. The Unquestionable Truth also came out in 2005. Okay, so to be fair, they released everything that they had up to that point that they had on here. This. Yeah. The two albums that followed it, The Unquestionable Truth Part 1, again, comes out in 2005, same year as this Greatest Hits album. And then in 2011, Gold Cobra comes out. So, obviously they couldn't include anything. So that being said, this is our last song from Results May Vary. This is Build a Bridge featuring Brian Head Welch.
bridge. I just, I'm starting to notice a little bit of a pattern here with this Greatest Hits album. And it's just so in your face at the beginning, blah, 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 my generation, and I'm going to break some shit, skin your ass raw. Then all of a sudden we start mellowing out. And, like, we go from Eat You Alive, which is just like, I mean, gosh, Feminist could write a wonderful, wonderful review of that song. To Behind Blue Eyes, we're mellowing out, and we got Build a Bridge. We got some acoustic stuff. Coop, I missed the scratching, man. Where's DJ Lethal?
Maybe he finally decided to go get a job.
It makes me sad. That's one of the things that I had such a good time at the beginning of this album. Now all of a sudden I got to start thinking and trying to picture and actually take Fred Durst seriously. It's not my thing.
That's the funniest part. It's like, this is his I'm an artist sort of thing, because now he's older and realizes, I really don't care about being some badass that bucks the system all day. Now I'm going to be serious. I'm going to be William Durst.
What do you know? He started giving a fuck.
Yeah. Fortunately, when you hit 35, fucks become something that, sort of required in order to live. So yeah. I think maybe he put on his big boy trousers and walked out the door. But it's funny because this song is really angsty, just like a lot of the other ones, and it very much reminds me of a song called Ohio is for Lovers by Hawthorne Heights.
Don't know that one.
It's the emo kid song from like 2007. I think it was 7 or 6. But yeah, it very much had that same sort of feel at the beginning, where it's just somebody kind of whispering into the microphone like it's their diary, with a very light guitar played over it. Yeah.
Who is this Brian Head Welch guy?
He's from Korn.
Okay, all right. I was sitting there thinking I couldn't associate him with what band, but I figured he was hanging out with Monkey and all them. So all right.
I think they should bring Al Snow and Head play guitar in there.
Hell yeah. He's a funny guy to follow on Twitter, by the way.
Couple of things. One, we are. I actually made this a full 2 hours because we had so much to cover. When we are running out of live time, we'll be off the air in about 2 minutes, 10 seconds. We have 3 more songs to go, and one of them is a riot, I tell you. We're up to the part of the Greatest Hits now where these next 3 are, at the time, were previously unheard. So the first 2 were from the Results May Vary sessions, and they were at the time unreleased tracks. And then the third one was recorded specifically for this Greatest Hits album. So that said, we have another minute and 45. And if you've lasted with us this long, I will thank you for going back for getting in the Wayback Machine with us and celebrating the career that is Limp Bizkit. They are fondly remembered.
This is their eulogy.
Listen, man, I'm still holding out hope that 2016 will be the year of the Stampede of the Disco Elephants.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come back, and then the record sales are going to tank so hard they're going to get dropped from their own label.
I can't believe the dude's sitting on 28 songs. That just blows my mind. He's just sitting there with 28 songs he's got to work on.
I should follow it up. There's an article that came out today that I don't know if it's adding anything to the story, but there's apparently other reasons why they haven't come out with the album yet. I'll pull it up while we listen to the next song. But again, I want to thank people for listening live. If you have, if you've downloaded this, I'm just going to wait another couple of seconds or so to get into the next couple of tracks. Again, if you're just listening live and you want to hear the conclusion of this melodious podcast, come back in about 20 minutes to half an hour. It'll be in the archives, or come back tomorrow So for Mr. Jesse Starcher and for Robert Cooper, thank you for listening live, if indeed you have. All right. So we are now into the recorded part of the podcast. We have an hour of recorded, available recorded time, but we're not going to use all of it because I just can't. So this is again from the Results May Vary sessions. This is Why.
It might take too long to turn the lights back on. I guess I'll lay awake. I guess I'll lay here and break. Could you pour me one more drink? A glass of gasoline. Help me burn my pain. Light me up in the rain. My so-called life is so good. Why do we die?
To be the guy that says, play your hits, and not allow an artist to experiment. I mean, I'm one of the defenders of the Load and Reload album from Metallica for that reason. It's like, sometimes you gotta let a band experiment and be a little open-minded. But am I alone in thinking Limp Bizkit isn't fun when they're not, playing their more rowdier tracks? Like that version of Limp Bizkit, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the song. As far as his vocals go, that's the least whiny I've heard on that sort of song. But It's not fun. It's not why I would listen to the band.
I don't like looking at these lyrics and actually thinking that, Fred Durst is getting pretty pretty deep here, especially just like you said, the sound that isn't the Limp Bizkit sound that we're used to. And this is like the most serious song I've heard from these guys. That subject matter that's kind of like I actually care about. But I know what you mean, man. I like I said earlier, where's DJ Lethal? I don't hear DJ Lethal, I don't hear him scratching in the background. He's still part of the band, I think. I don't know if he was just absent for this album or what, but man, when you look at these lyrics, Coop, man, are you reading this stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there's a point where he says, my baby's in the grass. Now, I really hope he's talking about his kids, like, outside playing in the yard, but I don't think that's the case.
No. And Jesus is on the dash, which I find it very hard for Jesus to take the wheel while he's on the dash. That's not how these things work.
Jesus on the dashboard, sir. Jesus on the dashboard.
This is on the dashboard. Oh, yeah. Whatever. It feels right. Sorry.
Like, the funny thing is like, I can tell he's really trying.
Yeah.
Help me burn my pain. Light me up in the rain. Like, he's still at, like, middle school lyricism, but damn it, he is trying.
He is. He's really trying in this one, because I was sitting here looking at this like, if he's talking about, like, his kid died, that that is some sad shit. But I just can't see Fred Durst ever getting to where he actually puts My Baby's in the Grass as, it's almost like I can't see him reaching for a figure of speech or, you know, using words to paint a fucking picture. That's probably the only way I could put it. I just can't see him being that deep to where he says that.
I think it's more of like a third person sort of, or like it's in a first person perspective. I don't think it's necessarily about him. But what if he's actually trying to tell a story once?
One time. Tried it once.
Yeah. Less panic.
All right, let's move on to our second unreleased song here from the Results May Vary session. This is Lean on Me. Nope.
This album is okay, imagine drinking a Surge. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to drink Surge yet or not.
Yes.
Okay. You drink a Surge, you're just bouncing off the walls, and then all the fucking sudden the caffeine crash hits.
Okay.
You want to go lay down on the couch.
Did you watch Family Guy at all?
I do watch it, but I can't say I've watched anything recently.
There's an episode of Family Guy where they leave Stewie. They kind of do like an ode to Home Alone, and they leave Stewie home alone, and he goes, "Oh, now I can drink soda." So he drinks the soda, and he like runs around the house and bounces off the walls, and then suddenly he just stops and goes, "Oh, now I'm sad."
That's what happened. That is exactly what happened in this album.
Yeah, this is getting depressing. This is not why I wanted to do this. This is not what I wanted. Honestly, man. I could have stopped this entire fucking podcast after rolling. It's like I don't need to get into what's going on with me, but I'm feeling like I'm developing what's the beginning of a stomach virus. So I have been running in and out of the bathroom, and like
not good.
Yeah, and there's a part of me that and it hit me real hard right after we were done with rolling, and I'm just like, see, that's a sign we should have just ended the podcast.
It's because your stomach is rolling. Trying to eat you alive.
And as far as I'm concerned, and the general public at large, Limp Bizkit's last album was Chocolate Starfish, not Liquid Water.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I don't know. Gold Cobra is probably like a monument to shit, so. Because I really feel like Gold Cobra like picks up where that left off, because this thing here, again, this is like adult William Durst, not Fred. This is
good old Billy.
William Durst. I feel like this is his attempt at being a legitimate artist, but unfortunately, it is attached indeed to the same band that did songs about nookies and cookies and sticking things up your woe. And sticking things up your yeah.
Robert Cooper knows that I generally will give every song a fair shake, and the only other time that I have just lost my patience to the test that I'm done was with the Black Sabbath album from last year.
Yep,
I remember that one.
That
was a rough show.
Well, that's why it's a good thing we had brought Sean on that one, because me and him we handled it. We let Mark sleep. we went to autopilot. Auto host.
Mark, what do you think of this song? It stinks. All right, moving on.
I didn't even listen to it.
All right. So I know I said Rollin' was my favorite track, but for the sheer insanity of this next one, it is quickly rising in my. This is sort of the B movie of music. This is so bad, but it's so bad it's fun. This is Limp Bizkit doing a mashup of Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home and the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony.
Yes, I'm a dreamer, but my heart is gold.
If you'll indulge me for a moment, I'd like to paraphrase a line that I think really sums up that song from an American classic. If you please. Mr. Durst, what you have just sang is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent song were you even close to anything that could be considered a good song. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh man. Let me take the helm. All right. What you just got was a 2-for-1 sale. Where they must have been desperate enough to where they mashed two songs together, two great songs together, and they said, we're going to put these two great songs together and we're going to cover them for you. All right? Now, we were keeping count at the unoriginality, the counterfeitism of this album, and I bid you folks that we have reached 5. At one point we were at 3, and then this song hit, we got 2 in one song. So we've got a total of 5 songs on this Greatest Hits album that out of the 17 awesome songs we've listened to that you could say were not fully conceived by our good buddies Limp with the Biscuit here. Now, also, at the beginning of this song, where the fuck was Limp Bizkit at? All I heard was Fred Durst and a damn keyboard. And I was like, what?
That was totally him, like, messing with a Casio keyboard and going, what'd this button do? Oh, it makes the music. This button makes the music.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet, everybody, girls.
Space people.
Fred Durst.
Okay. The other thing that I want to say, which I thought this was pretty neat. There's only one other artist that I know of that's done mashups similar to this. It took me a few seconds to figure this out. And we mentioned him earlier on the podcast. And it's funny that it comes down to this. Weird Al Yankovic. That's the only other guy that I could think of that mashes songs, and that is for pure hilarity. I really hope that's what Fred Durst was shooting for here.
No, he is so super serial, you can't even deal with it. That's the thing. he takes himself so seriously and what he's doing so seriously. Again, 28 songs in the can, ready for release, still sitting on them. Still, like he's just like this. He's like this painter just agonizing over his work. It's like, it's all shit. We have to start all over. And it's like, dude, you're in Limp Bizkit. I mean, for fuck's sake.
I think Fred Durst having 28 album tracks, 28. Yeah. 28 tracks is very much like you having a scrapbook of all your kids' old drawings. They may mean a lot to you, but to other people, they're just like, all right.
I mean,
can we say this? He's sitting on an album and agonizing over an album and delaying an album called Stampede of the Disco Elephants.
Man, he's an artist.
Yeah.
Oh, he's quite the artiste. Just look at that album cover for Gold Cobra.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Wow.
This That last track, I mean, the first time I heard it, I think we might have actually been on another podcast, and I'm listening to it, and I laughed so hard. I'm like, we have to review this. This needs to be talked about. And like if they just stuck with Home Sweet Home, and the Casio keyboard that makes the music, it would have been fine. And if you want to cover a Bittersweet Symphony, I suppose that's your right to do so. But like this again, it just sounds like he just forgot the words to Home Sweet Home and started singing another song.
It happens to me all the time. Like I'll be sitting there going, I'll be upstairs humming a song, and then all of a sudden no, I can't be right. That didn't happen here.
So whenever I go to for those that don't know, and if you don't know, I'm not entirely sure how you stumbled onto this podcast, but I have a 19-month-old son, still in diapers, not potty trained just yet, because we're not psychos who force their infants to be potty trained. And so whenever I check his diaper, I'll sing that famous song by DJ Kool, but I'll change the lyrics. So I'll kind of put him over my shoulder and I'll go, "Let me see your butt." So today, I went to check on him. He wasn't feeling well today. He probably had a stomach virus and has now passed it on to me, little bastard. So I went to get him up from his nap at about 4 o'clock, and I said, "Come here, Jonas, let me know." And I went, "Let me see your butt." And he goes, "Nah, nah, nah."
Awesome.
He's learning.
He is. He's a smart little bugger. And I feel like that's the best way to end a podcast reviewing the history of Limp Bizkit.
A lot of showing your ass.
Na 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 na. Any final words here, Coop?
Let's see. What is wonderful, strange, douchebaggy trip that we've brought ourselves upon? It's, even though the music is mediocre and even offensive to people who have working ears and fully formed brain stems, it's damn fun to shit on. I mean, just like this last half of the album has showed us, Fred Durst being really emotionally, trying to be emotional and serious with his work, no fun. And quite frankly, it's almost embarrassing to a degree because at least he had his thing with the original Limp Bizkit, like OG shitty new metal Limp Bizkit. Yeah, it's garbage, but damn, it's fun. At least the stuff he has, the stuff he was making at the end of that album is like, stop, Fred. Stop,
man.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Just put that cap back on, put on your white T-shirt, and go get power bombed in SmackDown 2.
It works.
Jesse, any last words?
Echoing what Robert just said, I mean, there's a time and a place for music like that. And it had its time and it had its place. And just like I said at the beginning of this podcast, now it's nostalgia for me. It's me going back and enjoying what I used to listen to. And granted, a lot of it does not apply to me. It didn't apply much to me back then and doesn't apply to me much now. There's some good songs on this CD or on this album. But you just can't get past some of the crap that's on it, unfortunately. I'd say go listen to Chocolate Starfish, and you'll probably enjoy yourself just as much.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously. This music is not meant to be taken seriously. It's meant to jump around and have fun, and if you spend too long thinking about it, you'll get a nosebleed. So with that said, this is our this is the only Metal Hammer of Doom I'm going to be a part of in the month of November. A week from tonight is The Long Road to Ruin, and we'll be looking at the Pitch Black series, the Chronicles of Riddick series, Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick, starring Mumbles McGee, Vin Diesel. And the week after that is Thanksgiving. Now, last year, Jesse and Robert got together and did a Thanksgiving show. Are you guys planning on doing that again this year, or are we taking that week entirely off? I'm going to put you on the spot now.
No, I'm up for it. It's just we'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit off the podcast, and we just haven't come up with anything. So I think it's in the air right now.
Well, the interest is there.
Okay. So after you've eaten your turkey and your stuffing and you're throwing around your football and you're waiting to listen to a Radulich and Broadcasting podcast, there should be a Metal Hammer of Doom waiting for you on Thanksgiving Day, brought to you by Mr. Robert Cooper and Jesse Starcher. I won't be there under threat of a bullet to the head from my wife.
The movie Bullet to the Head?
No, yeah, carrot up the nose. So that said, the next time Robert and I will be getting together will be in December. I believe it'll be December 10th. I'm going to check the schedule now for sure. But we have been debating this, and we've been kicking around some ideas of figuring out how we were going to end the year. I always want to do something related to the holidays, but we weren't quite able to land on anything. And then I saw the greatest thing ever, a band called Heavisaurus, who are, I believe, Finnish meddlers dressed in dinosaur outfits, singing children's heavy metal. And they have a Christmas album, right? Halista Jula, which was put out in January of 2012. So it being the holiday season and all, I thought, what better way to end the Metal Hammer of Doom in 2015 than on December 10th, Heavisaurus, Ray Halista Jula. It's going to be terrific.
Awesome.
I am excited to talk about dinosaurs and Christmas.
One year you'll actually listen to me though, and we'll just play we'll do a show of just our favorite Christmas songs, and I can finally play Dominic the Donkey.
I have a cat named Steve. I call Steve the Cata. And I call him Stephen the Italian Christmas Cata. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Because that song was playing in a Goodwill one day while I was searching for dollar CDs, and it wouldn't leave my damn head.
Chickadee-ching, hee-haw, hee-haw, it's Dominic the Donkey. That was recently on when my wife was driving around with my kid, and she actually took a picture of it and sent it to me. She was like, look, I'm a good wife. We're listening to Dominic the Donkey.
Damn Italian Christmas donkey.
The Italian Christmas donkey, la la la. It's a New York tradition, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and that'll be our and that's our last show for the year. December 10th, Heavisaurus, Ray Halista Jula. Because the week after that is Star Wars, and then the week after that is New Year's, and we will be back sometime in January with something. I can tell you this. I've already got it marked on the calendar. January 28th, Metal Hammer of Doom. If we don't start on the 14th, we will definitely start again on the 28th with Dystopia by Megadeth.
Nice.
So right now, there's not a whole lot cooking for the month of January. We normally start, because of that reason, we normally start up the year with a retrospective. This past year, we did Typo Negative because I got it into my head. This January everything dies, and I thought that was a great line. And I felt like listening to all my old Typo Negative records. I don't quite have anything in mind this year for a retrospective. Maybe Cooper will come up with something, but we'll figure it out. Otherwise, we'll just start in late January with Megadeth, and we'll go on from there. As I said, yesterday, Robert Winfrey and I reviewed Spectre, the latest Bond movie, and last Thursday, Sean Comer and I reviewed For the Long Road to Ruin all three of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies, and I went on a rant about how much Skyfall sucks. So there. Oh yeah.
I really like Skyfall.
Yeah, so does the rest of the world. You're all wrong.
Right.
And so we got coming up, we've got a review of Peanuts this Wednesday coming up, and then the Chronicles of Riddick. On December 3rd, we've had Long Road to Ruin, The Mighty Ducks, and that'll be the last Long Road to Ruin for 2015. We'll start up again in January with Lord of the Rings and then The Hobbit. That's the plan. So that's what I got going on. Mr. Starcher, you yourself have a long list of things you're doing there for your. You've got 2 podcasts. You've got the Source Material, which reviews comic books, and then you've got your NFL podcast from the Cheap Seats. So why don't you tell the good people all about it?
Yeah, folks. Source Material is a comic book podcast that you can give a little listen to and maybe catch a couple good story arcs that you may have been just wanting to figure out what happened. We cover Marvel, we cover DC, we cover independent books. So give it a listen. Last episode, I think it was a couple weeks back, and I believe it was the Back to the Future episode where we did we talked about Back to the Future issue number 1. Just me and Ronnie hung out, and I think good Stephen Marsh came on and chatted with us for a little bit. The next episode that we'll be doing, it's been 6 months, maybe more, in the making. RoboCop versus Terminator, just in time for the DVD release of Terminator Genesis. We were trying to do the synergistic stuff back when it came out in the movies, and just got delayed. And then I was going to record it a while back, got sick. But this Saturday, me, Ronnie, and Cole Marentet are going to sit down. We're going to record the episode and have it up ready to rock and roll this coming Monday. So, folks, give it a listen. RoboCop versus Terminator, some of the craziest franchises put together, and Frank Miller wrote it. Yes, that Frank Miller. Was it good? Is it bad? You'll have to tune in to see, because it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Did you ever play the video game?
Did I ever play the video game? I could tell you if I did, I don't recall. I'm sure I did.
I'm pretty sure I had it for Sega Genesis, and I love that game.
I think I saw Angry Video Game Nerd play. I think they played it, or at least did a review on it at one point. But I don't recall like being blown out of the water if I played it at all. I can tell you the story. Well, the story is going to be fun to cover because it's not. I doubt it's as good as the video game. We'll just put it that way. It's hard to think Frank Miller writes crap, but it happens. Considering he's behind the RoboCop franchise, RoboCop 2 was written by Frank Miller, and I think RoboCop 3 also. So, anyway, from the Cheap Seats NFL podcast, me, Jason Teasley, talk the NFL. We're pretty consistent. I don't think we've missed a week yet. So we had good Stephen Marsh on last week. He came on and made his picks with us. Coop, again, I've got you on. I've got you on here. Congratulations to your freaking Panthers, man. That's some awesome stuff they're doing. Yeah, buddy. Legit.
Yeah, now if they can only if only they could keep people down in the fourth quarter, it would be great.
I hear you. But anyway, the next episode of Cheap Seats will be me and Jason Teasley, and we're bringing on from the Casual Heroes. He's making his yearly appearance, White Dwayne, and he's going to let us all know he's a handicapper, and he's going to let us know his picks and give us some insight. So, other than that, check me out on Screaming Boy, past Screaming Boy episodes for all of October. I was on for every Halloween show. I even missed 90% of one and made sure I got on there for the last 10% of that last podcast that they did, just so I could be consistent. I was on there with Ronnie and Adam. Jason Teasley was a guest. I was even on there with Robert Winfrey himself. We talked vampire movies, had a great time. So check it out. You can follow me at Stiznarkey on Twitter, and that's the end of my plugs.
Robert Cooper, hit it.
Oh, speaking of Jesse Starcher and his plug, so hopefully at the end of the year for Source Material, we'll do some Vinland Saga.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Nothing says a Merry Little Christmas to you like Japanese comic books about Vikings. which, by the way, totally just ordered volume 6 and 7 of Vinland Saga from RightStuffAnime.com.
Nice.
Woot. Hey, I mean, about $13 for what's equal to 2 volumes of the manga. So, hey, you know, solid.
Heck yeah, dude.
Solid, like 400 or 500 pages for $13. Not bad.
Not bad.
Really good releases. I totally recommend. If you like the manga, check it out. It's really good releases, and if people don't buy enough of it, they're going to stop releasing it. So hey, there you go.
Support it.
But yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. I think Jesse's liked it so far. Can't wait. Can't wait to talk about all these deep themes. But yeah, there's that. Of course, there's this podcast. I like it. There's the Cooperative Multiplayer Podcast on the co-op multi-page on Spreaker.com. It is Sean Garmer and Mark Morrison. I'm going to show up on there one day. I think they said Tuesday or something's when they're going to do it. I don't know. But you kind of do it, and then I find out about it later, and I kind of sigh and go, oh, well, I was busy anyways. And then there's the different Happy Go Fun Time podcast, the Sentai Writer podcast, as I like to call it. It's a podcast about, like, Japanese children's shows and animation and shit. I was actually just sitting with my buddy Hunter today. He was like, we need to do the podcast. And I said, yeah, but I kind of figured out that if I have one day that's free, if I spend that one day talking about the things instead of catching up on them, I'm kind of an idiot. So I told him maybe this winter break. We'll see. Because, yeah, last weekend I managed to write 3 papers, 120, 110, 1.5, 2 lesson plans, and a presentation, and work 20 hours. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was done. I was like, I am sleepy. I did not get to sleep. This is no fun. Yeah, welcome to college. But yeah, that is really my plugs. Go check out the Facebook page for Sentai Writer Podcast. People keep liking our page. I don't know why. I don't know how. We haven't posted a new episode since last October.
Well, that's a good thing.
We get like a day, and I'm like, I don't know how. I think it's because I'll occasionally post on there, like, things that happen in the tokusatsu world, and then those nude feeds. Yeah.
That's a good feed to have.
Yeah, sniffing the panties. But the news feed posts, you know, it often pulls posts from pages and stuff to kind of highlight the word on the street. So I'm guessing that's how it keeps happening. But hey, you know, I love it. Love people like
the word out. That's right.
It does, and it gets me excited for the fact that maybe one day I'll release another episode. So,
Teasley just mentioned it on the last Cheap Seats, man. He seriously did. He's itching to hear a new episode.
Holy shit! All right. I mean, well, because as soon as I catch up on Kamen Rider Ghost,
get on it, man. Get on it.
I mean,
all right.
they have a Thomas Edison power.
Mark's calling it. He's got like belly problems or something.
I want to go to bed. I have to work tomorrow.
He said it's his way or the highway.
No, it is his way.
Back up. What you going to do now?
Hands up, hands down. What you going to do now? Keep rolling.
As much as everyone's been loving this shit right here, it's time to go. So, for Jesse Starcher, for Robert Cooper, and all the great hosts here at the Radulich Broadcasting Network, I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. Wishing you be well, be safe, and behave. And we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Hey there, it's your friend Ryan Reed with Read and Read. I'll get you right back to your favorite podcast, but quickly, I want you to know if you're injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through medical malpractice, you can count on Read and Read to be here when you call. You'll speak to me, my wife, or my dad directly on the phone, or you can meet us in person or on Zoom for a free consultation. Visit needread.com today for more information. And remember, with Read and Read, it's like having a lawyer in the family. Needread.com. Offices, Tampa Bay.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.